Let's talk about stars, famous stars, not the ones in Hollywood, but in the night sky. The Christmas star or Bethlehem star. This was the star the three wise men or magi followed to take them to baby Jesus. But what was this Christmas star? Was it a comet? Was it a supernova? Was it a planet? Was it Superman? Okay, wait for it. Sadly, we don't really know. And this is probably why Christmas decorations hit the stores as early as August every bloody year. But in all seriousness, the reason why we don't know what the Christmas star was is that there is a big debate between theological and historical descriptions. As a Western civilization, we celebrate the birth of Jesus at Christmas, and we place the birth at year 0. So the three magi observed this star, something that attracted their attention in the sky. It was just there in the sky, maybe there, in the sky, hanging from the sky. This is how it was described. And they saw it at east, and then they followed it to take them to baby Jesus. As astronomers and scientists, we want to find out and match the theological with the historical and astronomical facts. This is where the confusion comes in. Based on historical and astronomical facts, historians place the birth of Jesus between 5 to 4 or 3 to 2 BC. So it's not at 0. And they also place it at springtime because shepherds used to take their sheep out during spring or even during summer. So it's still a very big debate, but let's go through the scenarios to narrow it down. What can it actually be? One very popular explanation is that it is a comet, and in particular comet Halley. The Chinese observed comet Halley in 12 BC, and they have a very good description of it, which will later match with the observations of Halley in the 18th century. But this does not match the date of nativity, nor any other comment around that date matches the date of nativity. What about a supernova? Or a nova or a hypernova, meaning an exploding star at the end of its life. All records show there was no star exploding at the time of nativity. The Chinese had very good records of astronomical phenomena, and they would have mentioned something like that. Also, with modern technology, we have looked for supernova remnants from that era, but we haven't found anything. The only supernova viewed was much later, in 108 AD, way after the birth of Jesus. And, of course, it does not match the time of nativity. So the Christmas star is probably not a supernova. But what about a planet or a planet conjunction, where planets appear together in the sky, right? They are not together physically, they just appear together in the sky. There are many scenarios implicating Venus or Mars or planet conjunctions like Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn, or conjunctions with a star like Regulus and with Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. There was a conjunction around 4 to 3 BC or 3 to 2, but not at 0. The thing is that the three magi were scientists. They were studying the sky. Okay, they were studying the movements of celestial bodies in the sky. They would have known about conjunctions between planets and stars, so they would have not been surprised. And of course, they would not leave the comfort of their house, okay, to chase a star. Come on. But let's assume they did follow Venus, leaving Jerusalem at 1 BC. They would have traveled the modern world, but they would not reach Bethlehem. And a bit of science fiction. What if they had a car? Okay, what if they had a car? They would have traveled around and around and around and around and around and around the globe to reach the North Pole on December 25th. What an interesting date. Another fact, we said that the Magi were looking for something at the east, but maybe we're lost in translation. Maybe they were not looking for something in the east, but for something rising. Okay, because in Greek, east means rising, like west means setting. Okay, maybe they were looking for something that was rising from the west, and Venus would have been a very good candidate for that. But probably not. Another possibility, another scenario is Jupiter, because Jupiter is known to do the following. It goes through the sky, and then it stops, and it goes backwards. We call it Jupiter retrograde. And this was actually observed in 2 BC, but this is 2 years before the birth of Jesus, and around the 25th of December. Interesting. You know, a fun fact, we actually celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December because Emperor Constantine moved Christmas holiday. Okay, so it coincides with the shortest day of the year in the North Hemisphere. He did that in the year 336 AD. So probably it's not a planet then, huh? So what is the reason for the season? The reason for the season is the winter solstice. What is that? Glad you asked. It has to do with the rotation of the Earth around its axis. Okay, only one. The Earth rotates around its axis as it goes around the Sun. Okay, but this rotation has a tilt. The axis of the Earth is a bit tilted in relation to the plane where the Earth rotates around the Sun. And this tilt is 23.5 degrees. And this is why we have seasons, okay? We have 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices. In the northern hemisphere, we have the shortest day and winter in December. And in the southern hemisphere, we have the longest day and summer in December. And in June is the opposite. We have the longest day in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day in the southern hemisphere. But what about our presents? We don't know exactly what the Xmas Star was. We celebrate Christmas and we do like our presents, yeah. So what's the deal? Are we not getting presents because some dates are not matching? What? We will celebrate Christmas and get our presents. And actually around Europe, kids have already been getting their presents from the 6th of December on Nicolaus Day. In Greece, we have to wait a bit longer until the 1st of January, actually, because this is when Saint Vasilis is bringing us the presents from Caesarea in Cappadocia. And with that thought, I would like to wish everyone happy holidays and many, many, many presents.